Hi, Phoenix family. Tonight's video is about studying religions, and it was inspired by a visitor that I had yesterday. A young lady was in my living room, and we were, having casual conversation. And in one of her comments, she said, "I would love to learn about being pagan." And right after that, she followed with, "But I'm not allowed to because pagans are devil worshippers." So I took a moment to relax, and it frustrated me, not just because it came from her, but it was because it was told to her, just as it's told to many, many, many other people. In my group, Pagans of the Path, Rise of the Phoenix, we have a great number of people that have come in to learn about paganism, and that is one of the things that they are told. In fact, I would have to say it's probably the number one thing that they are told. And it's not true. It's not true at all. It's mind-boggling because we don't believe that that exists. That's how we got our name to begin with, is pagan, because we did not follow in this Christian conversion the idea of Christianity and what they have created. When Christianity created their religion and their God and their heaven, they also created their hell and their Satan and their evil. Okay? They created the idea of this evil, of this place that an angel was sent to. Okay? So now let me go into this a little bit better. My mom told me, as a pagan years and years ago, that you should study your Bible. You should learn it. And I'm asking why, because I'm a pagan and this doesn't quite go in with my pagan courses. And she tells me, because one day you might have to debate religion. You might have to stand up for what you believe in, and in order to do so, you need to know your opponent. Now that makes sense, because that's something a lot of people do not do. They really don't. And a person claiming that pagans are devil worshippers is the perfect example. They don't know anything about us. They've not taken 5 minutes to study what it is that we believe in, and yet they've already made a horrible conclusion about us. That's really unfair. Okay? And the same goes with us, about Christians or Muslim or Buddhist or atheist. We cannot stop and throw accusations out to any of them, without understanding what it is that they believe in. It's not fair and it's not right. We are placing judgment without knowing anything, and the judgment can be hurtful. Okay, so let's start with this. Let's start with Satanists. Okay, Satanists do not even worship this devil that was created by Christianity. I'm not going to get into a whole lot of what Satanism is, because it's not a path that I follow. And I've only studied just a little bit about it, just to have a little bit of knowledge. But what I can say from what I have studied is that they do not worship this devil, as in this evil, to go out and do evil things to harm people. Okay? What I have learned in their tenets that I have read is that you are responsible for your actions, and you are not to harm other people. If you do harm somebody else, you're responsible for that shit. You have to take responsibility for what you have done, and you have to pay the consequences for it. There is no evil worship. What it is about understanding who you are, embracing who you are, accepting yourself for exactly who you are, and then taking responsibility for any action or reaction that you have in life. And if you do something, you cannot throw it on somebody else to fix it for you. There is no prayer that's going to come along and take it all away. It's about being motivated to be like, I don't like this, so I'm going to do this to make it better. That's the basis for it. And if you really want to understand a little bit more, I suggest you do some research on your own to study that. Okay, and then we'll go with Muslim. Many people. Oh, I hate the Muslims. Oh, if they're Muslim, oh my God. I mean, they even see them in their shrouds or cloaks, whatever, and they're already doing the glow. And really, why are you doing that? That doesn't make any sense because you saw something on the news or you saw something on social media. There's, I don't know, a billion people in the world. You saw a news article about one dude that was a dipstick, and so you're going to take it out on everybody? That doesn't seem fair. Okay, so if you want to understand what the Muslim believes in, what it is that they worship, what it is that they pray to, purchase the Quran. Go ahead, pick it up, read it, understand it, take it in. That does not mean that you have to agree. It does not mean that you have to convert. It simply means that you are not making a judgment call on something that you don't know. You will understand what it is that they believe in. That way, at least if you make a judgment, you're at least being fair about it. This is what you believe in, and this is how I feel. Cool, whatever. It works. At least you're being fair and you're being honest. Okay? That's the way it's going with all of these various religions, and pagans are the ones that are being called devil worshippers. And that is so far from the truth, it's ridiculous. Oh, my necklace is on the inside. I've actually been asked right here if this necklace was meant to be a sign of devil worship, and it is not. It is a pentacle, and it has a 5-pointed star. Okay, I have spirit, earth, fire, water, air. Okay, all are represented. That's the elements of life. And spirit can be either spirit or love or unity, depending on who you are. I usually call it spirit, but all of that fits in together. Unity, love, and spirit is all together anyway. So there's nothing evil about any of that. That's just the elements itself. Okay? And in paganism, there are different sections of paganism. You have the Druids, you have the Celtic Wiccan, you have the Wiccan, you have Osiratu, you have witches that are just, into witchcraft only, and all of them fall under paganism because they do not follow into Christianity. Every part of paganism is against Christianity. If you practice witchcraft, you cannot practice Christianity. If you practice divination, you cannot practice Christianity. Heathens and otherwise, no, that's why we are pagans. That's how we got the name. Because this is not what we follow. This is what we follow. Okay? And none of that has anything to do with a devil. Now, I did in fact study the Bible, as my mother told me. I spent quite a few years studying it. And I found the perfect one to study from. It was the King James Version that I had once found in Grandma's house on my husband's side in the bathroom. Huge Bible in large print. And I thought, oh, I'd like to have one of those. Because first of all, the large print makes it easier to read. And it was just pretty. So I told my mother-in-law about it. I said, I'd really like to have one of those. And she got it for me. I did study from that Bible. I went to church. I studied with them. I wasn't converting. I was definitely a part of everything. This is a Christian church. I participated with them in their activities to learn them, to learn the religion. I pretty much handled most of it okay. The older I got, the more I decided I really want to go back to my own roots. I've learned this. I've done what my mother suggested. I have taught my children all I can about Christianity. I'm done. I know what I need to know, and I still don't like the religion. And here we are. But I can honestly say that I did what my mother asked. I did study the Bible. And sometimes I will see posts or memes posted, say, on the Facebook platform of a Bible verse, and it gets shared 1 million times, and then I'm like, is that even right? So what do? I pull out the big Bible and I look it up, and I'm like, it's not true. And those that throw it up on my friends list, I go ahead and add the rest of the verse that they're missing on there for them. It's for them to know. If you are going to post this about your religion, you should know about your own religion. Not only should you study mine if you're going to have it out with me, but you should also know your own. You should especially know your own. Okay? And with all of that, it's a lot to study. And frankly, people don't like to study today. Generally, they don't. They have so much going on in their lives that they don't have time to study, but they have time to make judgments on other people. And I just feel like maybe everybody needs to back off on the judgments, open up a book, study, and then know what you're talking about if you choose to debate religion. If you don't want to do all of this studying, then don't bother debating religion. You owe it to yourself to know your opponent before you go up against them. Think of it like this, okay? You have signed up for a wrestling match. You're getting ready to wrestle against this champion, and you want his belt. You go home and you put on the basketball game. You spend 3 hours watching nothing but basketball. And then it's time for the wrestling match. Exactly how do you win that match? Because you have spent your study time watching basketball and not wrestling. Not only did you not watch wrestling, but you don't even know the opponent that you're going up against. You don't know what kind of moves he makes. You don't know what he favors or what his weaknesses is. So how are you going to do this? It's as silly as that is, it's the exact same thing that people are doing when they are debating religions. Christians, Muslims, Buddhists, pagans, atheists, Satanists, all of them, people in general, not the religion, but the people in general, they look at somebody else and be like, oh, well, you do this. But do they really? Honestly? Do you know that? Did you study that religion to know that? If you did, great. But saying that pagans are devil worshippers means that, no, you didn't. Okay? And that's the point that we're making. We are not devil worshippers. That is a Christian concept created by Christianity, not pagans. We don't believe in it. We don't worship it. That's the end of it. All right, guys. So that's the end of my rant. Thank you all for coming in today. I love y'all very much. You mean the world to me. Please like and share this video as far as possible, because we want everybody to know this little piece of information, because we are tired of being accused of something that's so not true. Okay? Like, share, and subscribe. I love y'all. Good night. Mwah.